Ang susunod na programa ay rated PG. Patnubay at gabay ng magulang ay kailangan sa mga batang manonood.
Good evening, everyone. And of course, in every growing economy, one challenge remains constant: how to make government work faster, smarter, and more responsive. In the Philippines, cutting through red tape has long been a critical step towards unlocking business potentials and attracting investment. So I am William Theo, taking the place of Sir Ox Balyado for today. But beyond policies and procedures, real change demands something deeper: a shift in mindset. Again, I am William Theo, and this is The Game Changer with my very special guest now, Secretary Ernesto V. Perez, the Director General of the Anti-Red Tape Authority, or ARTA. Director Nes, thank you very much for joining us this evening, sir. Yes, and giving us your time. And alam mo, amidst a crisis, amid so many things, para bang we're here to give good news para sa ating mga kababayan, sir. So, thank you for joining us. Ano po ito, sir?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. First, I'd like to thank the DATV for this opportunity that we can share the many good programs and initiatives of the Anti-Red Tape Authority to promote the ease of doing business in the country and reduce the cost of business. Kagaya po ng palaging sinasabi ng ating mahal na Pangulo, Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr., dapat po ay hindi natin pinapahirapan ang taong bayan. Dapat pinapabilis natin ang proseso sa pamamagitan ng streamlined and digitalized government processes and services. Yung title ng show nyo napakaganda kasi it aligns well with our own core objectives at the Anti-Red Tape Authority, which we always say that the Ease of Doing Business Law, or Republic Act 11032, which is the Ease of Doing Business and Efficient Delivery of Government Services Law, is a game changer law. Why game changer? Before the law, there is this mindset in the people of government that when people come to our offices as public officials and employees, it is as if we treat them that they are asking a favor from us. The law changes that mindset of we people in government, because we are here to serve. We are being paid through taxpayers' money. So therefore, whoever comes to our office should be treated as a very important person. It should be it should be reversed. Instead of we public official looking at someone who comes to the office as if they're asking a favor from us, there should be change in that mindset. Instead, we will treat anyone who comes to our office as an important person, and the question should always be, how can we serve you as a public official? And this applies to all appointed and local officials. That's why we are called public servants.
Yes, sir. Of
We
course.
serve the people.
And the public.
The public.
Sir, first off, can you tell us a little bit about ARTA? Anong mandato nito? No? Because alam ko medyo malawak, di ba, ang scope ninyo eh.
Ang ARTA po ay it's an agency created under the Ease of Doing Business Law to to implement the national policy on ease of doing business and reduce red tape. It is under the Office of the President. In layman's term po, ang ARTA siya yung nagpapatupad ng mga batas at regulasyon para mapabilis ang serbisyo publiko na dapat walang pila. No? Kung meron mang pila, dapat hindi maiksi at dapat tapusin at ma-reduce nga yung pila na yun. Paano natin matatanggal ang pila? We promote not only a streamlined process but a digitalized process. Sabi nga ng ating kasamahan sa DICT, why fall in line when we can go online? Kaya po napakahalaga talaga na when you have any dealing with any government agency, first you look at, ito po din po ang in-implement natin, all covered agencies, and I mean all national government agencies, including local government units, government-owned and controlled corporations, state universities and hospitals and water districts, they are required by law to publish all the services they render to the public, and we call that a citizen's charter.
I see. So malalaman dito lahat na?
Yes.
Okay.
Including the required processing time. Pag nag-submit ka ng application, doon nakasaad sa citizen's charter ng anumang ahensya, what is the standard processing time na pag na-submit na yung application, complete with all the requirements and fees as declared in the citizen's charter, dapat po ito aksyonan.
Okay.
Either approve or disapprove within that standard processing time of 3720.
Alam din nung applicant kung ano yung magiging timeline niya,
Yes.
at saka kung alimbawa meron siyang sariling deadline, everything else can go into this, parang like that.
Correct, William. Una nga, ang aming pong advice sa ating mga kababayan, pag meron po kayong concern sa anumang ahensya, ang unang-una po ninyong titingnan ay yung Citizens Charter ng ahensya na yan. It's so easy. Dapat nakapublish ito sa website. Requirement po yun ng batas na ahensya. Nakapublish sa kanilang website yung Citizens Charter. Napakaganda po ang system na na-develop ng ating DICT. We call that the eGov PH Super App. Doon po sa eGov Super App, download nyo lang yung program at lahat po ng ahensya na nalagay doon kasama yung kanilang Citizen Charter. Doon, makikita nila yung mga services being rendered or offered by any government agency.
Wow, okay. So, kung everything is at your fingertips, kumbaga.
Correct.
And it should be that way.
Yes.
Kasi usually people are coming from all over, different ages, different backgrounds, so dapat understandable to all.
Yes. And yung compliance naman ng agencies based on the report to our Compliance Monitoring and Evaluation Office, almost 94 to 95%. So, ibig sabihin, lahat nagsasubmit ng Citizens Charter. Ang difference lang, whether they are really submitting an updated Citizens Charter, yun nakalagay ba doon na standard processing time ay talagang 3, 7, 20. Ano ibig sabihin ng 3, 7, 20 working days? Pag simple transaction lang, that hindi kailangan ng ministerial on the part of the agency, like pagkuha ng certification or clearance, napakasimple na yun. That application should be acted upon within 3 working days. Pag medyo complex ng konti, kailangan may konting discretion. Yung sabi kong walang discretion sa government yun, dapat ibigay nila kaagad yun. Pag may konting discretion, kailangan pag-aralan, ang tawag po doon, complex transaction. So, 7 working days. Pag medyo may implication to life, safety, at kailangan may study, research, etc., the law provides for a longer period of 20 working days. Subject only to one extension. At very important, hindi naman kailangan na pag nasubmit na yung application, bayad na yung fees, required yung government official to approve. Sabi po doon sa batas, either to approve or disapprove it. Ang importante lang, they have to inform the applicant if disapprove, the ground or the reason for the disapproval. Doon po, there's full transparency, there is full accountability on the part of government officials. Kaya napakaganda po itong programa na ito pag pinatupad po at lahat ng ahensya ay compliant dito at ini-implement nila because the question really is about implementation.
Yes.
If this is properly implemented and our kababayans know about it, our image will
will
improve,
totally change, diba?
no?
So, sir, ang problema ba is because not everybody is informed. So, since syempre maraming tao, how do we get this out into the public na lahat alam ito? Na hindi naman ganun kahirap para mag-start ng isang negosyo
Kaya nga
dito
we
sa ating
appreciate,
bansa.
William, whenever we get invited in an event such as this, because we give us an opportunity, free, no? Kasi hindi po malaki ang budget ng ARTA. Yung information drive. We have an information and public relations division, but it's not enough. So what we do, we partner with the media, with the chambers of commerce, because we cannot cover all. No? So to cover all, we have these ARTA champions, the various chambers of commerce whom we consider as ARTA champions. Meron naman tayong mga development partners, the World Bank, the Asia Development Bank, even universities we call ARTA partners. Doon
So,
po,
malawak talaga ito. Napakalawak. Ang dami kong ang natututunan, sir. So, para bang basically, we channel it through everybody.
Yes.
Okay.
And everybody should be aware and be informed of this good law, because
Yes.
to be able to avail of the good intentions of the law, the people must not only know this, but they must work together that this is properly implemented.
Kasi sir, sa totoo lang, no, I guess we cannot deny, marami pa sa atin dito sa Pilipinas na takot magnegosyo. Di ba? Because yung para bang they don't really know what to expect. Para bang, syempre, they have a, let's say, lalo na for MSMEs, maliit lang ang capital mo, natatakot sila na para bang it might be difficult to get a permit, and yung para bang the startup, at least this is a game-changing, ano nga eh, yung para bang, it's a good, everything that at least malalaman ng mga ating taong bayan na hindi pala ganun pala. Meron ba tayong mga support, ganun, and other things also?
You know, I started my message earlier that the President's directive is for all government services to be streamlined and digitalized. That is for one reason. Because we find that as an effective way of fighting red tape and corruption in the process. Ang number one source ng red tape or corruption is yung human discretion or intervention on the part of the public official. If you remove and minimize that by way of a streamlined and digitalized transaction, it will not only reduce red tape, or corruption, it will practically eradicate it. Why? We have developed this program together with the DICT, or the Department of Information and Communications Technology, the DILG, and the TI, that for one to get a business permit, they can get it full online. So that anywhere in the world, complete, even the submission of the requirements, the fees, the processing, even the printing of the permit can be done online. And this is very simple po. We have a joint memorandum circular that all that the business owner must do is be aware of this. And of course, all LGUs by law are required to set up and operationalize an electronic business one-stop shop. By law, all LGUs must have that EBOS within 3 years from the effectivity of the law. The law became effective on June 17, 2019. So therefore, they had until June 17, 2022 to implement it, operationalize it.
Dapat full implementation na yun nung time na yun.
Yes. Unfortunately, because of issues of resources, poor internet connection, out of about 642 LGUs, so far only 127 LGUs whom we have considered to have operationalized an electronic business WhatsApp. And as a result, we have data to show na yung LGUs that have been able to set up or operationalize an electronic business one-stop shop resulted generally
better results.
Better result, substantial increase in the number of business registration and increase in revenue collection. Anong simple explanation dito? Yung LGU that EBOS compliant will issue a business permit that has a QR code. So therefore, the business permit that is posted on the company's premises must bear that QR code. So anyone who has business with that company, they will check on whether the business permit is legally issued or not by means of simple verification.
So kung hindi yun ma-verify, ibig sabihin hindi siya official.
Hindi siya properly. So businessmen knowing this, they will voluntarily register their business and pay the right amount of revenues to the LGU. Kaya itong mga LGU, palagi po kaming, whenever we get opportunity to conduct orientation, ito po yung ating palagi sinasabi. As a basis, we have figures to show. So, sabi nila, kulang yung resources nila, poor internet connection. Pero meron tayong mga 4th, 6th class municipality, LGU in Mindanao, in the Visayas, na nagkaroon ng electronic business. So, hindi po actually good reason yung sinasabi nilang wala silang resources.
It's not an excuse, kumbaga, sir.
Exactly, William. Because the DICT has developed a free program they call, started with the IBPLS, or Integrated Business Permit License System. The DICT has further enhanced this to be user-friendly, tawag po ELGU, so that it is easier for an LGU to comply with this requirement. So far, there are about, sinabi kong figure kanina, 127, because of some issue with the Bureau of Fire Protection. Pag na-resolve po ng ARTA at DILG yung ating issue with the Bureau of Fire Protection, about 700 more LGUs will be fully compliant. Napakaganda po to. Even small businessmen will benefit from this.
Tama, oo. So that covers all MSMEs, big businesses, at saka kahit anong uri ng negosyo ninyo.
Exactly.
We are covered.
Even prospective investors will be attracted to invest in that particular LGU because the first thing that investors would look into in order to help them decide to invest in that particular LGU or not is whether or not that LGU has a digitalized process so that anywhere in the world they can monitor their business.
Tama do. Sir, kasi alam mo, pagka ganyan, even if lalabas ka ng bansa, you can check everything online. Tama.
Exactly.
Thank you. Nako, now Director Ness, I think this is really good news, but this is just the start. We're just hitting the tip of the iceberg. Thank you for introducing us to ano ang ginagawa, of course, ng Anti-Red Tape Authority. Marami pa tayong pag-uusapan sa pagbabalik ng ating programang The Game Changer, and we will be changing a lot of things. Stay with us.
2025 was a meaningful year for Bingo Plus Foundation. As our purpose grew, it was time for a new chapter. Introducing DigiPlus Foundation.
Education is the bridge to opportunities. Through the Future Smart program, we empower learners and educators nationwide. At DigiPlus Foundation, we multiply learning for a better future.
Healthcare should come with no barriers. Kalusugan Plus delivers medical missions, and Embrace Plus mental health support, which empower every Filipino through compassionate and accessible healthcare. At DigiPlus Foundation, we multiply healing. One patient, one community at a time.
Every dream deserves a chance. In Wish Plus, we grant wishes, empowering individuals, families, and communities together with their partners. At DigiPlus Foundation, we multiply hope, dignity, and possibilities.
Disasters don't wait. Through the Bayanihan Plus program, we mobilize immediate response and recovery efforts. At DigiPlus Foundation, we multiply the spirit of Bayanihan across the nation.
DigiPlus Foundation is committed to delivering on our promise to bring help within everyone's reach. When support becomes accessible, impact doesn't just grow, it multiplies.
Madaling pa ba mag-cash in sa Bingo Plus?
Sa Bingo Plus,
Official partner na namin ng Bayad Center. Easy!
license ba yun ng popcorn? Sa Bingo Plus,
Kaya responsible gaming lagi.
ang fun!
Gaming? Na may insurance?
Sa Bingo Plus,
Sa PhilFirst, insured ang wallet mo ng 1 million pesos.
Safe nga! Talaga namang...
sa Bingo Plus,
Partnered with Bayad Center, licensed by PAGCOR, protected by PhilFirst.
sa Bingo Plus.
The best players succeed because they set boundaries. Every great athlete wins with control. Always have a game plan.
Welcome back to the Game Changer, and still with Secretary Nes Perez of the Anti-Red Tape Authority. Sir, ang dami mong na nailatag yun sa una nating gap. Ngayon naman pag-uusapan natin yung actual programs, di ba? Itong digital-based programs natin. We left off saying that there's really no excuse not to find out, or everything should be at our fingertips already. So, what are some of these programs, sir, na nangyayari ngayon?
Thank you, William, for asking that. Actually, just to set the pace, and the tone of the discussion, the mandate of ARTA is two-pronged, which is the enabling and capacitating side of it for the covered agencies to be empowered to comply with the ease of doing business law. And that is handled by our operations group. On the other hand, there is this enforcement side being handled by a legal group. In case of non-compliance, violation of the law, we have a legal department that investigates. Now, to promote ease of doing business, particularly on full transparency and accountability, napakahalaga po na the businessmen should understand what are the regulations that cover the kind of business. We have developed a program we call the Philippine Business Regulations Information System, developed through the assistance of then USAID, or U.S. Agency for International Development, until it was suspended or terminated. But we were able to complete it, and we're now in the process of implementing it. What is PBRIS? It is a digital-based program that is a repository of all government regulations being implemented by government agencies. And ARTA is tasked to capacitate agencies, meaning through the PBRIS, through the use of the digital platform, we can make it easier for agencies to upload, to encode the regulations that they implement, so that a businessman, for instance, if he is engaged in the business of restaurant, all he has to do with the tip of his finger, by just simply clicking on the restaurant business, all the regulations covering the restaurant business will appear
specific for that one. So
exactly.
Talagang hindi ka na kailangan pumunta sa construction or kung saan man, kung restaurant.
Exactly.
Okay.
And the businessman will know if that regulation is updated or not, or is conflicting or overlapping, because ARTA is also implementing a program we call Regulatory Impact Assessment. This is a simple management tool that will ensure that any regulation being implemented by agency is subjected to proper public consultation and does not cause undue regulatory burden or cost not only to the agency but even to the transacting public. I mentioned earlier about the Citizens Charter. We, in order to assist and make it easier for agencies to comply with this, we also develop a program we call digital-based, the ARTEMIS, or the Anti-Red Tape Electronic Management Information System. So with this system, we are now in the process of capacitating, enabling agencies to avail of this digital-based program. And by simply encoding or uploading their Citizens Charter to that system, our kababayan will have easier access to the program, so that by clicking on the agency, the name of the agency, for instance, the Citizens Charter of that agency will appear. Of course, to make it even much easier, we also develop an artificial intelligence virtual assistant we call Tala.
So,
Tala.
ito, pwede niyong kausapin.
Yes.
At lahat, parang ChatGPT style
Hindi
na.
lang, she's talking 24/7. You can talk to Tala.
As in with the voice?
Yes. And she understands 17 dialects. She responds in Tagalog and in English. Right now, tinitrain na rin namin mag-respond in the local
different dialects. Oh.
And we have empowered Tala to know the Citizens Charter of all government agencies. So if you click on the eGov.ph of the DICT 24/7, you can talk to Tala. You can ask her about any question involving the citizen charter of that age, and she responds, no, in Filipino or English, and even in dialect.
So you don't even really need to ask anybody anymore because lahat ilalatag na niya, and you can ask as many times. Siyempre, because AI ito, di ba? So para bang they're getting tired of talking to you.
Basta the question refers to
the Citizen's Charter.
Halimbawa, sa Department of Foreign Affairs, tatanungin mo si Tala, ano ba ang proseso magkakuha ng passport? Sasagutin ka ni Tala, ito yung proseso, ito yung mga dapat may submit, ito yung fees mo, ito yung...
So, andun na lahat.
Andun
so,
na
even bago mo i-apply, alam mo na lahat ng mga responsibilities mo. So, in other words, it's really not an excuse not to know.
Exactly. Tapos kung hindi lang po yan, kung may reklamo yung ating taong bayan, pwede rin niya ireklamo kay Tala.
Talaga?
Kasi meron kami una na umpisa ito sa Electronic Complaints Management System. Noong una, pwede email ka lang, submit ka ng complaints, make the details. Now you can talk to Tala, and Tala will transcribe. Hindi na isusulat ng kababayan. Si Tala mismo yung magta-transcribe ng complaint mo doon in a prescribed form ng anti-retributory. So it's really easy. So we encourage really our people. If you have any issue, kasi palagi na rin, itong agency ito, corrupt, ito, mahirap. We encourage our people to complain. And in order to do that, mapabilis, mapadali ang pag-complain, we have all the digital-based programs that they can avail of.
So, like, kung alimbawa magko-complain, no, like a citizen will complain, usually, how long can they expect? Ano yung time frame na maa-address itong mga complaints nila?
We lead by example.
Okay.
Since we advocate for agents to comply with the standard processing time, I'm very strict about our legal about it. Na dapat the complaint should be responded to, no? Kung simple lang, also within 3 working days. At mabilis po yan. Naka-devise po kami ng way of make it easier or faster to resolve. Because we cannot cover all agencies nationwide. So we required the agencies to set up a committee on anti-red tape. So, yung committee na yun should not only be established, it should be operationalized. So, whenever we receive a complaint or concern, the first thing that we do about that concern is we refer it to the agency's committee on anti-red tape. So successful is this, that the resolution rate of our legal is almost 99%. What is the simple explanation? We have developed a certain reputation or trust, that when government agencies know that ARTA is already on board, meaning that a citizen has filed a complaint with ARTA,
na yun.
They know that ARTA acts immediately on the complaint. And agencies knowing that, because if they don't act on the complaint or concern, they will be subjected to a formal investigation, meaning that they will be required to submit a counter affidavit. Ang defense po nila dito is very limited. What is their defense? To a failure to act on the application or request within the standard processing time. There is practically no excuse or reason. What is the defense for failure to accept the application? What is the defense for failure to entertain a client or a citizen who appears to our office during office hour? Practically wala silang defense. So what they do,
walang excuse.
Pag ni-refer na yun sa Committee on Anti-Red Tape, they will immediately act on it.
Okay.
Because when ARTA sets the clarificatory meeting, our experience shows, even before the scheduled clarificatory meeting or hearing, the concern or complaint is already acted upon.
I see.
Kaya yung resolution rate po natin, we're proud of it, is at 99%.
Okay. And sir, can you share specific examples or processes that have been streamlined already and digitized under ARTA? Because nakikita natin talaga na importante ito, and lahat naman ng tao gusto mapabilis at mapadali, di ba? Yun naman ang talagang gusto ng tao.
Thank you for bringing that up. During the pandemic, we were all confined.
Yes, I'm sure the pandemic, actually, dito tayo yung para bang na-inspire dito sa lahat ng ganito.
And all of us really felt the necessity of having a faster and or stronger, reliable internet connection. That's why the first thing that ARTA did was to work this out with the DICT, the DILG, the Department of Public Works and Highways. So we had this joint memorandum circular to streamline and digitalize the permitting process for the telecommunications sector. because of that emergency period, yung emergency powers given by Congress to it was easy for us to come out with a joint memorandum circular that streamlined the process. So with that, we were able to increase the number of permits for the construction of those towers. So successful was this program that when the emergency was about to expire and therefore the JMC was also about to expire, the people lobbied. The Chambers of Commerce, the Private Sector Advisory Council, together with ARTA, they lobbied for the President to extend not only the validity of the JMC, but even to operationalize or energize it. And so the President, we thank the President talaga for this, for issuing Executive Order 32, that further streamline and digitalize the process. That because of that issuance, tumaas po yung the number of permits issued, napabilis yung ating internet connection, and we have data to show that. We covered practically a larger portion of the country. Kaya with Executive Order 32, there was even a study by Meralco that says, whereas before, it took 255 to 300 days to get a permit or to set up that tower.
Which is ang haba, no?
Haba,
Oh.
almost a year. With Executive Order 32, within 59 days, that is guaranteed.
Wow, that's that's barely 2 months kung tutuusin.
Exactly.
Sir, I have a question, and this is from me. What about, kasi syempre we want, with this ease of doing business, and we want everything to be simple, kamusta naman, sir, ang mga foreigners or hindi Pilipino na gustong magnegosyo sa ating bansa? Iba pa ang proseso nila. How does that go?
The same. We treat them whether you're small or big, and we have a strong partnership with the various chambers of commerce. And in fact, the other day I was a keynote speaker sa American Chamber of Commerce, and all these businessmen, upon hearing what we're saying, they're so upbeat, they're so encouraged, because they have an agency, an anti-red tape authority that they can trust or rely. Gusto ko lang talaga i-highlight. We have all the good laws and regulations. The challenge really is about implementation. This was affirmed during the recent Business Ready report by the World Bank, which compared to the 100 countries where Philippines is also one of those tested and surveyed, we rank very high in terms of laws and regulations. It is actually in the implementation that we fail. That's why yung ranking natin sa government efficiency ay medyo mababa. Anong simple explanation doon? We fall short in the implementation. Yung banggitin ko na lang, William, about the Executive Order 32. No? Lahat ng permits to construct the tower in an LGU in a barangay in Manila. Hindi ko na ba magitan yun?
Okay. In general na lang tayo.
Even Mayor has already issued the permit. But there is this barangay captain who refused to allow the construction of the tower. Ang daming mga dahilan for 2-3 years that has been pending. And so, Meralco approached us and sought our assistance. Upon evaluating it, and I saw that all the permits have already been issued, I simply wrote a letter to the barangay captain reminding her of responsibilities under Executive Order 32 that sets the requirements and the fees to be paid, and it is strictly prohibited for any government agency, including a local government unit, to impose a requirement that is not published or that is not stated in the Executive Order 30. More so, if the permits are already there and an LGU is preventing its implementation. I simply reminded her, hindi pwede yun. We just emailed the reminder, and you know what? Within 24 hours, she allowed it.
Wow.
So this is the proof that when you consider government agencies not as an enemy but as a partner, just simply reminding her of responsibilities. And under the law, we have this responsibility to enforce the law. With proper reminder that these are the consequences of not complying the law, and that there is an agency, the Anti-Red Tape Authority, that is determined to implement the law without any tinge of red tape or corruption. I'm proud of this because our staff are really like your staff here, young, passionate, So we'd like to maintain the team.
Dedicated.
Dedicated talaga. Just keep the working.
Okay. And sir, sa ganyan, no, since you have encountered something like that already, hindi na, once it's called out, usually hindi na tayo nagkakaroon ng ganong klaseng problema ulit, no?
Yes.
Okay.
Pero sana, hindi, sana gano'n, no? Dapat on a case-to-case basis, dapat hindi na nila antayin.
Na umabot sa ganon.
Dapat
Okay.
they should have that mindset na, umpisa natin with the change in mindset.
Yes, change your mind. And speaking of which, actually, we have something really exciting for our viewers mamaya sa pagbabalik ng ating programang The Game Changer. We will be talking about the Ease of Doing Business Month when we return. So don't go away for any more questions. And we have so much more in store for you with Secretary Nes Perez, of course, of the Anti-Red Tape Authority. Stay with us. Don't go away. We will be right back.
2025 was a meaningful year for Bingo Plus Foundation. As our purpose grew, it was time for a new chapter. Introducing DigiPlus Foundation.
Education is the bridge to opportunities. Through the Future Smart program, we empower learners and educators nationwide. At DigiPlus Foundation, we multiply learning for a better future.
Healthcare should come with no barriers. Kalusugan Plus delivers medical missions and Embrace Plus mental health support, which empower every Filipino through compassionate and accessible healthcare. At DigiPlus Foundation, we multiply healing. One patient, one community at a time.
Every dream deserves a chance. In Wish Plus, we grant wishes, empowering individuals, families, and communities together with their partners. At DigiPlus Foundation, we multiply hope, dignity, and possibilities.
Disasters don't wait. Through the Bayanihan Plus program, we mobilize immediate response and recovery efforts. At DigiPlus Foundation, we multiply the spirit of Bayanihan across the nation.
DigiPlus Foundation is committed to delivering on our promise to bring help within everyone's reach. When support becomes accessible, impact doesn't just grow, it multiplies.
Madaling pa ba mag-cash in sa Bingo Plus?
Sa Bingo Plus.
Official partner na namin ng Bayad Center. Easy!
License ba yun ng Popcorn? Sa Bingo Plus.
Kaya responsible gaming lagi.
Ang fun!
Gaming? Na may insurance?
Sa Bingo Plus.
Sa PhilFirst, insured ang wallet mo ng 1 million pesos.
Safe nga! Talaga namang...
Sa Bingo Plus.
Partnered with Bayad Center, licensed by PAGCOR, protected by PhilFirst.
Sa Bingo Plus.
The best players succeed because they set boundaries. Every great athlete wins with control. Always have a game plan.
Ito na ang mga officials ng barkada. Kanya-kanyang kalokohan ang bawat bida. Merong medyo praning, meron din ang antukin. Kompleto sa Ricardo ang barkada namin. Basta't nandyan ang bawat membro ng dapat. Pagkalokohan ay hindi mawawala. Hindi na dapat pinag-iisipan pa. Lahat tayo ay dapat
Welcome back to Game Changer, and we will be changing a lot of things for you again with the Secretary Nes Perez, the Director General of the Anti-Red Tape Authority. Sir, ang dami kong natutunan, and I know na meron pa tayong a lot in store. So para bang itong next month, May, is actually very special for a couple of things. It's the Ease of Doing Business Month, coinciding with ARTA's 8th anniversary. Correct, sir? Can you tell us a little bit more about
First,
this?
I'd really like to thank the President for this. When he signed Proclamation 818 last year, about March of 2025, declaring the month of May as the Ease of Doing Business Month. So with that, we started lining up activities last year, and we're continuing this next month, in month of May, starting with, of course, a bloodletting.
Yes, that's very important.
On May
very
5.
important.
And then the theme of the Ease of Doing Business Month is about achieving results through transparency and accountability towards a more productive bagong Pilipinas. We would like to promote the Philippines as a Philippines that is serious about implementing the Ease of Doing Business, and that will result in a more productive Philippines. By doing so, we will be able to attract more investors, businessmen that will provide more business and livelihood opportunities for our people.
And also, sir, ang importansya ng business, no, is it allows you to grow the way you want to. Hindi ka limitado, no? Like, for example, syempre, it's always good to have a job. But when you're an employee, you are limited to certain things. When you are doing business, lalo na kung you're growing with your business, gumagaling kayo, the opportunities is actually limitless. Tama?
You're right, William. We really encourage yung mga startup companies, especially in a highly digitalized world.
Right.
Yung Pilipino po, ang galing natin sa, magaling natin yun sa...
Magaling tayo sa marami eh. Actually, even ngayon sa aesthetics, napapansin mo, umaano na rin tayo sa medical tourism. Umaangat na rin tayo para na rin tayong Korea eh.
Kaya we really encourage our young people to go into business, startups, no? At ARTA is also promoting that. So that's why yan po yung ating team, no? Promoting business towards a more productive Philippines. So let me go back to sa celebration natin sa next month, Ease of Doing Business Month, no? Starting with the bloodletting activity on March 5, then ARTA Forum or Be Ready Forum on May 7, tapos ARTACBO or Fun Run on May 10. No?
Ayun! Tatakbo ako doon, sir. Sabay tayo,
Sabay tayo.
Okay. Saan po yun? Sandali ba? Dito lang?
Tomas Morato po, Quezon
Okay.
City. Jointly with the Quezon City Government, papasalamat po tayo kay Mayor Joy, no, for allowing us. And last year, doon din sa Tomas Morato.
Okay.
Tapos we'll also have a series of activities nationwide, no? Kasi we have 8 regional field offices. So, while we're having our celebration here at the central office, our regional field offices will also have their own Ease of Doing Business or Grand EODB Fair. Ang Grand EODB Fair, kagaya po sa Davao, May 12 to 13, SM Davao, Concepcion Tarlac, May 13 to 14, Robinsons, Pagadian City, May 16, and Iloilo, May 26. All of these will have a Grand EODB Fair where we gather agencies involved, DFA, SSS, Pag-ibig, LTO. In one setting, our kababayan will get their clearance. We also have the PNP, the NBI.
So we are maraming kasama, marami tayong partners.
Yes. So really is to promote. At also we have yung reel making contest, meron din painting contest, no?
So it's also to showcase, opportunity to showcase creativity, lahat.
Yes.
So talagang it's gonna be a very big month-long celebration. Okay. Sir, ano yung nakikita nyong yung para bang for you, doing so much for the Filipino people and making sure na talagang everything will be na maayos lahat. What were some of the major challenges that you actually experienced in this journey?
karamihan po ng mga concern aside from usual issues with the Food and Drug Administration, BIR, PhilHealth, is yung ating mga local government units because they have this autonomy. But we believe that when we are able to present our program well and they appreciate this, they will work closely with us because they know that by doing so, they will be able to promote businesses in the respective localities. And by promoting businessmen, they will attract investors to come in and they will encourage existing businessmen to expand their business. By doing so, we will provide more business and livelihood opportunities for people, especially at this critical time where we live in a highly competitive world.
Right.
Yung mga
Totoo
investor
yun,
natin,
totoo yun.
if they don't come here, they will go to other countries. And the best way to convince them to invest in the Philippines is that promoting that image of the Philippines, that in the Philippines, we're ready for business. That's why we will have also a Be Ready Forum, no? Sa May 7, as a result of our the survey conducted by the World Bank, no? And we will explain to the people what is our ranking and what are the ways that we can further improve our ranking.
At saka sir, syempre, di ba kung alimbawa, yung mga ating businessmen are doing well, they can, by word of mouth, they can makakahikayat din yan ng mga ibang mga, let's say, still thinking about doing business in the country para bang by virtue of that, marami silang mai-invite.
Yeah. And I also like to emphasize that ARTA's mandate is also unique in terms of interconnecting government agencies. That's why when we promote a one-stop shop on energy, on responsible mining, on agriculture, we always recognize the lead agency. If it's energy, it is the Department of Energy. When it is agriculture, it is the Department of Agriculture. When it is digital infrastructure that we're really promoting, it is the DICT. And recently po, on water, streamlining process, it is the DNR that we recognize as the lead. Ang aming
Kung
pong
sa
role
tubig,
dito, ang role namin is interconnect, facilitate. And we have that expertise of conducting workshops. The objective when we conduct workshops is we gather all agencies involved, including the private sector, and come out with a recommendation that if this is your existing process, after a series of workshops, meetings, this is our recommendation. A business one-stop shop. Para we also encourage unified application form, and we will handle. Kagaya po, we are encountering, we have received so many complaints about setting up businesses here on renewable energy. While we have good law, no, the Department of Energy is doing well through the Energy Virtual One-Stop Shop, there are still challenges in terms of implementation. That's why ARTA's role is to interconnect, address those challenges by way of a one-stop shop. And we have also worked with the Asian Development Bank that conducted the study. And in the implementation process, we have found that the most effective way of doing this is through a one-stop shop, a province-wide one-stop shop, so that when a business covers as many LGUs as possible, the provincial governor will have a very responsible position connecting all these LGUs, including government agencies, so that we can really have a fully operational one-stop shop, a business one-stop shop.
Okay, pwede na akong magnegosyo. Pero sir, sa totoo lang, ang dami kong natutunan. Thank you for letting me know exactly what ARTA does. And in line with that, and in line also with our 8th anniversary, sir, any final messages, anything that you would like to add for our viewers to be able to join us and also to understand what we are doing is for them, para sa kanila lahat ito?
Mga kababayan, I really like to appeal to everyone to continue to trust this government. And we have an agency, the Anti-Red Tape Authority, that is under the Office of the President, that is willing to answer, respond to your complaints, concerns. If we cannot do it by way of our resources, we partner with agencies, we partner with the private sector, so that your concern will be immediately acted upon. And we have provided all the system. And if you hesitate, we also entertain a complaint that will protect your identity. And but acting in your tip or information, we can conduct an investigation that will respond to your complaint immediately. So please continue to trust us. We are all in this together.
Yes.
Whatever happens, we have one country, and we should love this country. We have a beautiful country with so much resources. Yun po yung sinasabi ng mga foreigners when they come to the Philippines. You are so blessed with so much resources. You just have to conserve and properly manage them.
Yes, and I think that's the operative word. Let's work as a team. Let's move in one direction for the betterment of everyone and for ourselves. So thank you very much. Secretary Ernesto V. Perez, the Director General of the Anti-Red Tape Authority. Thank you very much, sir, for giving us your time. And in the end, reform is not measured by the laws we pass, but the lives we change. The fight against red tape is more than a bureaucratic exercise. It is a commitment to dignity for every Filipino who seeks opportunity, for every entrepreneur who dares to build, and for every worker who depends on a system that works. What ARTA is pushing is not just efficiency, but a cultural shift from control to collaboration, from delay to delivery, from resistance to responsiveness. Because when government becomes an enabler, not a barrier, progress becomes possible. And when businesses are allowed to grow, jobs are created, livelihoods are sustained, and communities are uplifted. The road to a stronger, more competitive Philippines is not built overnight, but with a clear vision, decisive leadership, and a shared sense of purpose that the future is within reach. This is not just about ease of doing business, rather, this is about improving the ease of living. I am William Theo, and this is The Game Changer. Thank you very much, and good evening, everyone.